Hey Luke,
Yeah.
it's MVNO day.
Yeah, it is.
We're going to talk about a mobile virtual network operator.
Yeah. And so we've been doing this series. There's a lot of MVNOs out there.
Mhm.
And so what the point of the series is kind of give you a broad strokes view of different providers to get you an idea of what they offer and if they're going to be a right fit for you.
Yep.
Just to remind everybody, an MVNO, like you said, mobile virtual network operator.
Mhm.
What they do is they sign agreements with the bigger carriers, your Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, and you use their service, but it is provided through one of these providers at a usually discounted rate.
Yep.
And without some of the extra things that the bigger carriers throw in. You might not get international calling. You might not get a free, included streaming service.
Right.
You're not going to get, insurance add-ons, some stuff like that.
Sometimes you don't even get a store to
Right.
go check out.
Right. So a lot of these things are extras
Mhm.
that are stripped out to save you, the user, money on your monthly service without really much change to that monthly service.
Right. It's for a lot of people, it's everything they need without the extras.
Yes.
And including, the idea of a store. I don't know the last time I stepped foot in my carrier store.
Right.
I haven't had to. I don't
Right.
need to. And for some people, that's the same. And
Yeah.
they can just find things online through support tickets, forums, online chat, 1-800 numbers, and they're good to go.
And if I'm going to talk to one of those bigger carriers online, why not talk to one of these smaller carriers and maybe save myself some money?
Right.
Because the service really isn't any different.
Yeah.
The one thing that can happen with an MVNO that rarely does happen, but it can, is since those agreements are signed, the people that have the bigger carriers, the people that have Verizon, might get precedent on their service versus somebody who has one of the MVNOs. So in a time of heavy congestion or in a area that's densely populated, you might experience slower data speeds. You might have a dropped call. You might have a while before a picture sends, things like that. Generally, it doesn't happen, but it could. So, MVNOs maybe get this idea, and since there's so many, people don't know the names.
Right.
So they think this isn't a real thing. It's not reputable.
Sure.
And, we're just going to tell you that they are.
Yeah.
And they can save you a lot of money. And we're going to look at one of them today. We're going to look at Boost Mobile. Now, Boost is one of those ones that probably has a little bit better name recognition than most because they started out prepaid.
Yeah, this is about as big of an MVNO or as a alternative to the bigs as you'll find. Yeah. It's one that it's been around. It's maybe the one that you've seen gone through different iterations over the past. And it's one that you're going to find that you just kind of see the store once in a while or the logo and you think, I don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
They've
been around for a long time, but what do they even offer?
Yeah.
So I have, this is, 7 things to know. 7. So I'm going to ask you 7 questions about Boost and kind of give everybody an idea of what they offer and kind of what you can expect. So the first thing, we mentioned they use other providers' service. So what service do you use when you use Boost Mobile?
So you're actually using T-Mobile's network.
Okay.
And that is something that in the past, the answer would have been Sprint.
Yes. Because
it was a Sprint MVNO. But as part of that merger between those two carriers, it is now T-Mobile's network. An interesting wrinkle to this whole thing is Boost is owned by Dish.
Sure.
So that's, that might confuse people and they say, well, I thought it was a Dish, but who does Dish use?
Right.
So to kind of address the question, it'll work with T-Mobile handsets.
Okay. So handset wise, can you use your phone if you're going to Boost?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
You can go to their website and plug in the IMEI if you have any questions about that. But if you have an unlocked phone or if you have one that is compatible with T-Mobile, generally, an unlocked AT&T phone will probably work as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same tech, the GSM.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to purchase your phone outright from maybe directly from the manufacturer or Amazon or from a retailer, as long as it's compatible with T-Mobile, it should be compatible with Boost.
Okay. Does Boost sell phones?
They do.
Okay.
So if you don't want to bring your phone or you don't have any plans to buy one through somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
you can purchase your phones from Boost. And selection-wise, it's generally there's not a ton of them.
Okay.
But it's a pretty good mix from high-end all the way down to, very basic needs.
Yeah.
And manufacturer-wise, you're going to find Apple, Samsung, and Motorola will comprise most of those models to choose from.
Okay. Is there a place I can go and look at the phones, or can I go into a store and talk to a Boost representative?
Yes. There are Boost, they call them, I believe, premium stores.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the exact term slips my mind right now, but there are Boost stores available, and you can actually do a retail locator.
Okay.
Now, you can also go into places like Walgreens, CVS, 7-Eleven to pick up extra data if you need to. And that's something that for some plans, if you run out of data, you can kind of top off or pick up that way.
Okay.
But you can also go to Walmart and pick up phones that are compatible with
Oh,
Boost.
nice.
So there's a full retail experience. There may not be very many in your city.
Sure.
That may change based off of where you live. But then there are other places you can go to do that. But then, of course, there's always online as well.
So speaking of, let's say I'm interested, what are their rate plans like?
Rate plans are pretty interesting. So they range from about $15 per month, and they go up. For $15, you're going to get 2 gigabytes of data, unlimited talk, unlimited text, and you're going to get mobile hotspot as well.
Oh, okay.
So that plan is available, and I'm going to kind of bury the next question.
Yeah.
It's for new customers only who bring their device.
Okay.
So it's kind of a qualifier
Okay.
that to get that, you have to be a new customer and bring your own device.
Okay.
But for, say, $25 a month, you're going to get 5 gigabytes of data, and that's going to be unlimited talk, unlimited text, and mobile hotspot.
Okay.
They also have unlimited plans. At the high end, you're looking at $60 a month for one line. It's going to give you 35 gigabytes of data, of which 30 of that can be used for mobile hotspot.
Oh, wow.
And that's, of course, the unlimited talk and text as well. And at 35 gigabytes, it's an unlimited plan. 35 gigabytes of that is your high-speed data.
Gotcha. So the high-speed data, is that 5G service?
It is. It's 4G and 5G based off of where it happens to be. So you're going to find that whatever is generally available T-Mobile-wise is going to be the case here. So there may be pockets where it's only 4G, you know, but that is still a thing where for a lot of people, 4G is pretty darn good.
Sure. Any other deals?
So there are. You can get, like we talked about the rate plan for bring your own device. There are sometimes some rate plans you can get for new customers only.
Yeah.
One of which right now, this may not be the case by the time you hear this or watch this, but for instance, they have a plan for 3 lines that's going to give you $90 a month for all 3 lines. You're going to get unlimited talk, text, and data. So you're going to have, I think, $100 for the first month, and then you're going to get a credit each month or a discount there. So
Gotcha.
3 lines for $90 for that.
Okay.
And then they also have refurbished phones that you can get. So if you're looking to save some money, that is always subject to change based off of, volume of how many handsets they have.
Sure.
But you can sometimes find discounts on older models too.
Awesome. So looking through here, that's kind of a high-end view of Boost Mobile.
Yeah, and that's not everything you need to know.
No.
So you can go to boostmobile.com to learn more.
Yep.
And then you can also just check out their website, and you can look online to see other people's feedback.
Yep.
There are plenty of other resources to kind of learn more about some of these carriers, but this is kind of a educational series to kind of push you either towards or away from a carrier.
Yeah.
And if you are a T-Mobile customer and you're looking for an option or an alternative, this might be one worth looking into.
Cool. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast.
Thanks for listening.
We appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, feedback, concerns, comments, anything, shoot us an email at podcast@AndroidGuys.com. We'd love to hear from you one way or the other. Luke, if someone wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
I am on Instagram and Twitter at Luke Gaul, Gaul.
And I'm on Instagram at Scott Webster and Twitter as SWebster77. Until next time, thanks for listening.
See ya.